Hey friends, Dan here again, and today I'm going to share with you my process for cleaning my vinyl records. Like a lot of you that are on YouTube looking for instructional or informative videos, when I first started getting back into vinyl records, I was looking for the best way to clean my records. I buy a lot of used records, I buy new records, and I like to clean all my records before I listen to them because really no matter where they come from, if they're new, they're gonna have they're gonna have residue or dust or debris or whatever from the pressing process. And of course, if you buy used records, a lot of times, you know, they've been sitting for a long time. They've got grime and stuff built up on them. So I always like to clean my records. I clean every single record when I get it, whether it's new or used. And I have tried a lot of different processes, trial and error kind of thing, and I finally settled on a process that works well for me. So today I want to share that with you, and hopefully you'll find it helpful. First, I'll go over the products that I use, and then I'll actually give you a demonstration of how I do it, and hopefully you'll work well for you. First of all, distilled water is part of the process. I use distilled water. I'm here in Florida. Our water here has a kind of a high mineral content that can get you mineral deposits, and you know, we have chlorine and all that kind of good stuff in there. So when I clean my records, I always use distilled water. And this is the product I like to use to clean my records, and it goes along with the other product that I'm going to talk about here in a second. I use the Vinyl Vac concentrated cleaner. I don't have the bottle anymore. I got rid of it, but it comes in a about a 2.5 ounce bottle, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if that's focusing. It's a very small bottle. It's about 2.5 ounces, and it's a concentrated cleaner. They say it does not contain alcohol. Some people say you shouldn't use alcohol in your records. I don't know. I'm not going to debate that. The 2.5 ounce bottle of the Vinyl Vac concentrated cleaner, you add it to a gallon of distilled water. And so I just go to the store, I grab a gallon of distilled water, you dump it in there, give it a little shake, and that will last you a long time with the process that I show you. So I pour it into a gallon of water, and then what I do is I went to the store and just got me a couple of these little squirt bottles. As you can see, these are like for barbecue sauce or grill sauces or whatever. But these are what I use. In the past, I've used spray bottles, but the spray bottles, I feel like they get a little messy, and these I can control a little better. So what I do, and I mark them, I have one for my wash solution, and that's the Vinyl Vac solution, the diluted. And I just top this bottle off, and I use this to clean. And then I have one, it's a rinse bottle, and I'll kind of get into that as we proceed. So this is just pure distilled water in this one. So wash and rinse bottles, one with the cleaner, one with plain distilled water. The other thing that I use is these 3-inch foam brushes. Now you can get these 3-inch foam brushes anywhere. You can get them at your hardware stores. You can get them at Walmart. I have to be careful about talking about Walmart because after my last video, people are going to think I live at Walmart. I almost feel like I do, but anyway. You can get these at the hardware stores. Anything. These are dirt cheap. These are just these are under $1 a piece, and I just go in and buy a fistful of them. 3-inch brushes, and if you'll notice, I mark my brushes. This is supposed to be a W for wash, and then I have one for rinse, and I'll kind of explain that as we go. The other thing I do is I buy a bag of microfiber towels. Now, this is another one of those items you can get them at your favorite store. I won't say the W word. You can get them at most of hardware stores. You can get them at auto shop stores. These are great. And the nice thing about these is you can use them and you can wash them and reuse them and reuse them and reuse them. And they're super soft. Okay. The other tool I use is a paint edger. Now, same situation here. You can get this paint edger anywhere. You can get it at your favorite department store, or you can get them at your local hardware store or big box store, anything like that. These are made to do like trim painting or whatever. They have replaceable pads, So you buy the edger, and then you can buy the replacement pads for them. And they just snap right on. And these have very, very, very fine bristles. Really super soft bristles, okay? So I found that these work really, really good for cleaning your records. Because it won't scratch your records, but they will actually get down into the grooves of the record, and they do a pretty good job. Now, this process that I'm telling you about, I've used this process. I've seen people, I've watched a lot of videos, and people I respect, their YouTube channels and stuff like that. I've seen guys that use nail brushes. I mean, they get on there and they just scrub the crap out of their records. And you can do that. People don't realize that records are actually more durable than people think they are. You just got to know the trick, and you just got to stay with the grooves. But you can really get in there and you can scrub them pretty good. And I've used this process on every record I own, every single record I have. I've used it on my Miles Davis Analog Productions UHQR record, and no problems. Works great. Works fine. I got it brand new, scrubbed it, and it works great. So don't be afraid to, to put a little bit of scrub on those albums. Especially, I have a lot of older albums. I have a lot of albums from the 60s. In fact, that's what I'm going to show. I'm going to do a cleaning of a Herb Alpert record from the 60s. And some of those albums, they just get, over time, they just get crud. They get a lot of dirt, debris, and stuff like that. People, if they were in households where smoke, they get that haze on them or whatever. And you can scrub. You can get on them and really scrub and not have to worry about it. So anyway, Vinyl Vac solution, the edger brush. And this is the thing that I finally, like, the last part of my cleaning routine that really, I feel really just made all the difference in the world. And it's the Vinyl Vac. Yeah, it's a piece of pipe with a little slot cut in it and some felt tape. It's not tape, it's like a felt. It's like a felt. Yeah, it is a tape. It's stuck on there. Anyway, it's got a very, very small slot cut in it. It's got a hole here, and it's a pipe here with a reduction, and then it goes into this small pipe. Now, all you do, and I will pick this up. And this is the last piece of the puzzle. The Vinyl Vac attaches to your utility vacuum, your whatever kind of shop vac or whatever you have. You can attach this pretty much to any standard vacuum cleaner. Shop vac recommended because you're using a wet solution to clean, so you need a vacuum cleaner that's wet dry capable. Could you make one of these? Absolutely. If you go on, if you look on YouTube, you can find people that have made these. And could you make one? Yeah, you could probably make one pretty easily. I think I paid like 27, 28 bucks for this thing. And my thought process was I can make one of these, but the time, the materials, coming back, making it, if this was a $100 item, I definitely would have made it myself. 20 something, 30 bucks, just buy it. So anyway, so now those are the items that I use to clean my records. So let's get to the cleaning, because I don't want to make this a super long video, because I get a lot of crap in the comments about how my videos are too long. This is what we're cleaning today. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. The Best of the Brass. The Beat of the Brass. Great album. I'm a big fan. And so what we do, hang on, I got something on my camera. Oh, I forgot, sorry. The last piece of the puzzle. Go to any store that sells these type of items and get you a Lazy Susan cake decorating spinny thing. I don't know what you call them. And what I did is I drilled a hole in it, and then I put a dowel in the middle of it, and just to put the record on. And then what you do is go get you some of this shelf liner. I use the little rubbery mesh type, and I cut it to the size of my little Lazy Susan thing. And that is the base that I use to clean. So here we go. Just to make it easy, I always start with side one. In case I get distracted, I come back and I go, oh yeah, where was I? Did I clean the first side or the second? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the camera down, because I'm doing this all live. I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to rotate the camera down, focus on the record, and I'm just going to walk through the process of how I clean my records from start to finish. At some point in this, I will turn on the vacuum cleaner. So headphone warning, I'll give you a warning before I do that in case you're listening with your earbuds or your headphones. Maybe a little loud. I hope not, because it's far enough. But anyway, I'll give you a little warning. So here we go. We're going to rotate down. So this is the setup I have. I just have like a little stool. I put a board down with a little towel, piece of towel covering it or whatever. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit better here. Give you some look. So this is what I have. This is kind of my layout. And this is how I start. Now, the reason that I like this solution, this Vinyl Vac solution, is it does have, it's a very kind of low, it's not real soapy, but the one thing that's really important, and I would recommend if you get a solution or if you make a solution, try to find one that has a surfactant in it. This one has a surfactant in it. And so you may say, well, Dan, what's a surfactant? Well, a surfactant is something that helps things break the surface tension, basically. So I'll show you a little demonstration of why a surfactant is important. This bottle right here is my pure distilled water. If I drop it onto the record, see how it beads up there? Yeah. Well, if you want to clean your record and that water's beading up, that's not really helping you. So this is what you do. This is the bottle with the surfactant, or the cleaner with the surfactant in it. Now look how it immediately starts to spread and gets into the grooves of the record, because it breaks the surface tension. Yeah, see the difference? So here's your distilled water and here's your cleaner, and see how much it's spread out? Because it breaks that surface tension and it gets down in the grooves of the record. So that's pretty important. So what I do, this is how we do it. I just get in there and I just put a few drops of the cleaner. You don't have to use a lot. And then this is where the brushes come in. And what I do, I just put like just a tiny bit on the brush. And if you put the plain water on one of these brushes, it would just bead up too. Okay, so as you can see, the cleaner has already kind of started spreading into the record. So the reason I use the brushes is I just do this. I just give it a good, just give it like you're painting it. Just paint the whole record. And just get a nice covering. And see how that cleaner just really soaks into the record and gets a nice coating on it. Now, I have seen where some people, what they'll do is they'll get something, and they make things that you can buy that'll cover the label. And in all honesty, this little felt thing came with the Vinyl Vac. It just keeps you from scratching up the label. In all honesty, I usually don't cover the label, because if you do get a little bit of water on it, as long as you wipe it off pretty quickly, it's not going to hurt the label. Now, this cleaner, I will say, if you get it on the label, you need to wipe it off pretty quickly, because it can damage the label. It will bubble it. But if you wipe it off immediately, you're fine. Regular distilled water, it's a little more forgiving. But I'm just usually careful. I just take my time. Don't get in a hurry. Like when I clean records, I usually just make it an evening, pick a couple, put on some music, and just relax. Okay, so here we go. Edger. Now I have my paint edger. I have covered the album with the cleaner, nice in there. And sometimes if it's a really dirty record, I'll let it sit for a minute. And this is all you want to do. Set it down. And then what I do is, you got your little, just turn it. And you just keep it going with the grooves of the record. And this paint edger's got super fine bristles, and it'll get down in those grooves. And you don't have to put a lot of pressure. I've had some records that were pretty gross, and I've kind of really got in, and I'll do this. I'll give it a little scrub motion, but for the most part, and this record's clean. I've cleaned it before, so I don't really need to get into it. But just stay, and you'll feel the brush will actually kind of follow the grooves. So I just stay with the grooves, and just give it a couple of turns. You can go one way and then go back the other. Just break everything up. And there you go. That's it. So then what I do, I have a separate microfiber cloth, and I'll just very lightly just kind of run it over, because I don't want to push all that stuff back in the grooves. but I'll just very lightly run over it and just get some of the excess cleaner off of it. Okay, so now we've done the cleaning and now it's just time to rinse. Now watch, this is what I do. Put some drops. Now you'll notice that the water, you see it's starting to spread, right, from that surfactant. So that's kind of a good way to know. Look at it, it's all starting to disperse. I hope you can see this, but it's starting to disperse into the record. And that's because that cleaner with the surfactant is still on it. I'll take my rinse brush and I just spread it around just to try to get all that distilled water on it and just get some of that cleaner up. And, you know, just get that all over the record. Nice coating there. All right, so you got the record covered really good with your distilled water. This is the clean distilled water. All right, so this is where the Vinyl Vac comes in, and this is where if you're listening on headphones or you have your speakers turned up, you might want to turn the volume down or, you know, whatever, this is only gonna take a minute, but what I do, Vinyl Vac here, it has a little hole to put on the spindle. They send you the little felt pad. So you put it on the spindle, like so. And I'm gonna turn on the vacuum cleaner, so, you know, protect your ears. Here we go. And that's it. That's all it takes. I usually do one loop around, maybe one loop back the other side, and it's gonna suck up all that water. And then normally what I'll do is, you saw when I put the distilled water on there that it kind of spread out, so there was still that cleaner and surfactant on there. So normally what I like to do is I like to run a second rinse. Second rinse may not be necessary, but I feel like I like to do it just to make sure that I got all the cleaner off the record. And also too, you can make sure, watch, see how the water beads up now on the record? So that kind of tells me that I got all the cleaner and the surfactant off the record. Look at that, see the difference? It all beads up there. So this is just kind of a optional step, but I like to do it just to make sure I get a really, really good clean record. And you can kind of feel it. It has that squeaky feel about it, like it's cleaning. But you see how the water's beading up? That means that we got all the cleaner and the surfactant off of the record. All right? And then I'll do one more vacuum just to make, you know, just to get the last bit of that off. Hold your ears, earbud alert. Here we go again. I'm gonna vacuum. All right, there we go. So, and then what I'll do is I'll take my, this is the clean, this is my rinse microfiber brush. I use one for the cleansing solution, and this is for the rinse. So this is clean, it doesn't have any of the cleaner on. And I'll just very lightly just run over that just to get any of the wet. Now what I have seen is I've seen people that will get a dish drying rack and they will put them in a dish drying rack. All right. And it's got just a little bit of water on the label, and that's no problem. We just wipe that right off. And nice and clean. Oops, I got the felt on there. Nice and clean, just do a nice little, and you can wipe off any of the remaining water on there. And so the trick is, you know, the trick is just stay with the grooves of the record, right? Don't go against the grooves, don't go this way, just stay with the grooves of the record. If you stay with the grooves of the record, you're not gonna have any problems and you're gonna get nice, clean records. So this is it, this is my process, that's the end. I do this with every record I buy, like I said, new, old, whatever. And I have found that it has served me very well. And I've gotten brand new records that were noisy, crackly, and I find that you give them a good cleaning and it'll make a difference. And it'll make a difference certainly with your older records too. So that's it. That is my record cleaning process. And I hope you learned something. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any other questions and you would like to know anything else about the process or have any questions of my experiences with records and vinyl community equipment, anything like that, feel free to ask me a question in the comments, and I try to answer all the questions and comments that I get. And also, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I'm trying to do more music related videos, but I also do reviews on other things, and I also do repairs. If I have something that comes up in my house or in my vehicles, I try to do repair videos. So this is kind of a catch-all for me. So anyway, again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And listen to Jason Isbell and the 400 Unit. They're awesome. Great band. Check them out. If you don't know who they are, they're awesome. You won't regret it. All right. Have a wonderful day, friends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.